Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories. Found out wife cheated on me, has been cheating on me, same AP. I tracked down messages to the day it happened. I knew something was wrong the whole time, but I could never imagine this was the thing that was going on. Okay, so I'm 24 years old, and my soon-to-be ex-wife is 25 years old. We've been dating for 7 years. We've been married for 3 years and have a daughter who is 16 months old. I'm the only one who works, and I earn roughly $100,000 per year, plus additional income from trading cryptocurrency, equities, and NFT. Because to my efforts, we have completely paid off our condo. In terms of material goods, she has been lavish with attention, both large and little. I purchased flowers and little, unexpected presents on a daily basis. In the case of our infant, I've washed her since the day she was born. Every time. I mean, every time, not only to lend a hand, but also because I enjoyed it. Every other night, I helped her clean the home while she put the baby to bed, so that we could sit and relax, make ourselves some coffee, watch a movie, cuddle, or do anything we wanted. It's not that I desired a dead bedroom. It just happened. Every time she needed something, I was there to meet her requirements. I was always ready to go, and she always came first in my eyes. Her mother and father, who live in another country, have always relied on her for financial and other assistance. I have to admit that they have treated me as if I were their own child from the beginning. I continue to do so. They have no idea what they are talking about. And there are many more things. I had a feeling something was awry because she was acting strangely when I discovered it. She confessed everything, broke down in tears, and begged me not to abandon her. This is too late for that, unfortunately. It appears that she has already cheated physically and, according on the texts, emotionally in some manner. She genuinely sobs and begs me not to leave her on a daily basis, a few times a day, every single day. When you say I was so horrible that you needed to cheat on me, it's almost as if you're sobbing over nothing. Her refusal to communicate with AP has been confirmed to me, and she even informed me when he texted her while I was at work. She even took a screenshot of it and then asked me what she should do with it. I told her she could do anything she wanted since she had put herself in that situation, not me. She wrote him a text message explaining how everything she did was a horrible mistake and should have never occurred, how much she loves me and cannot bear the thought of losing me, and other sentiments, and she requested him not to text her again. She even barred him, among other things, the fact that I won't be able to see the kid every single day will practically kill me if we don't manage to be together. But do you want to know what I came up with? I'd rather suffer from not being able to spend all of my time with her than see her grow up in a home where things don't function as they should. One thing that has me completely perplexed is the wife isn't interested in anything. The automobile isn't something he wants. He is not interested in the condo. He is not interested in the money. She doesn't desire anything at all. She vows that if I decide to divorce her and I am unable to forgive her, all she needs is a little assistance with the child and the assurance that if she is unable to finance everything for her, I would step in and assist her. I'm not going anywhere, and as long as I'm living, I'll make sure my child is taken care of. I have a question for both the women and guys that frequent this subreddit. Do you believe this may be a case of Mr. Nice Guy, overindulgence on our part? Alternatively, what is your point of view? I'm really interested. What would you do differently if you were in my position? Street 2. I caught my boyfriend sexting a woman on Kick, and I dumped him. The following occurred this morning, and I'm still reeling from it and sad. Despite my inability to shed tears in public, I shed tears when I recall various losses, such as our little, intimate gestures and words, as well as how much fun we would have had in the kitchen, or that I won't see him or have the opportunity to touch him again. But for the most part, I've been plagued with anxiety that is almost crushing. We're in our late 30s and have been dating for around 2.5 years. His family has been introduced to me and has embraced me as a member of their family. Our connection has been just wonderful. They are extremely compatible and enjoyed being in each other's company. We don't reside in the same house. His mother had been living with him since he was caring for her until recently, but she passed suddenly 3 weeks ago. It was a very difficult day. He's always been a little coy about what he does with his phone. Except for a small group of people, including myself, he often deletes his whole text history, including entire threads. He stated that this is something he has always done. Well, a week ago, he was showing me some images, and I happened to see in his portfolio that he had snapped a selfie. There's nothing racy here. However, it had been saved in the Kik folder. Later, it was no longer there. I didn't say anything to anyone. I did take a peek at his phone that night and discovered that he did not have Kik installed. As a result, I speculated that it may be old. I was able to connect to Kik on my phone. I have several messaging apps because I do international work and my contacts in many countries use them. I noticed that he had been there for a total of 124 days, and that's only for the next 4 months. Saturday morning, when he was at work, I stooped about on his tablet and saw nothing suspicious until I visited the Google Play Store. It displayed app activity, and it suggested that a significant amount of Kik usage had occurred during the previous few months. I became frightened at this point. However, that was the only thing that caused concern. There are no additional questionable applications. I looked on his phone again last night when he was sleeping and discovered that he had Kik installed and that there was one discussion with a female companion. Everything had only been around 5 days after it had happened, for the reason that he had reinstalled Kik just a week prior. However, there were a few locations where it was rather hot. Not to be very descriptive, but he referred to her as seductive in one instance, and she hinted in another that she was reserving being wet for him. I had a hard time falling asleep, but I eventually did. I woke up before him, which is rare for me, and got ready, dressed, and so on. When he returned downstairs, he inquired as to my well-being, to which I replied that I was not. I'm not proud of myself, but I went into your phone and saw the discussion you were having with woman on Kik. I informed him bluntly. He confirmed that she was his friend's sister and that she had lately approached him. I told him what I witnessed was rather spicy, and he agreed, but stated so with sadness in his voice, that yes, they had flirted with each other. He admits that he should have come to me, but that he felt and humiliated. He said that there was no physical contact, and it was sort of intimated that the little discussion was the end of it. I informed him that I didn't believe him and that he'd been on Kik for months without saying anything. I believe he repeated himself a couple of times, and I reaffirmed that I didn't trust what he said. He inquired as to what I want, and I responded by telling him to grab all of his belongings, suggesting the belongings he left here and to depart. Does this imply that you don't want to see me anymore? He inquired, and I responded affirmatively. I couldn't truly look him in the eyes the whole time, so I avoided doing so. So he went, but not before kissing my temple and telling me, in a breaking voice, that I knew where he could be found. That's all there is to it. I haven't been able to get to work today due to unforeseen circumstances. I've been feeling depressed and stressed lately. I was convinced he was the one for me at long last. I'm feeling a great deal of loss. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Update. Thank you very much for your generosity and thoughtfulness. I don't have the time to react to everyone, and today I really need to focus on work and getting over this, so I might not respond anymore since it only serves to keep me stuck in the agony aspect of it. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. There were a few of motifs that popped up. He has a history of doing this. Yes, it's possible. Except for this proof, I have no knowledge of anything else that occurred throughout our connection. However, the timing of it implies to me that when the chips are down. He copes by turning to this as an escape route to get by. That is completely unacceptable. However, knowing him, I believe that is most likely correct. If we were to talk about reconciliation, I would never offer something like this to him. Reconciliation would only be feasible if he agreed to therapy to figure out why he did this or has done this in the past and to work on it. And there will be no more secrecy. Whatever the case may be, it is not going to happen right now. I'm vulnerable and suffering, and I don't want to see or speak with him, despite the fact that I adore him and miss him terribly. Contact. Most people advise against contact, and I intend to follow their advice for the foreseeable future. However, while I anticipate him to leave me alone, I have a feeling I will hear from his sister and some of his old female acquaintances at some time in the future. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with it, especially with his sister. Not only had we grown close, but I'd also been assisting her with the administration of their mother's belongings. I can't claim that I won't ever give him the opportunity to speak about it. And yes, I understand that this gives him plenty of time to get his narrative straight, but I believe I am capable of recognizing when I hear it. Anything that is presented as an excuse will not be taken into consideration. If he wishes to come clean, etc., I will enable him to do so. If I have the opportunity and mental space this evening, I would want to all be back to speak with you when I have time. But just know that I appreciate all of your nice comments and support, and that I really thank you.